Who is the creepiest person you've ever met? My upstairs neighbor Kevin seemed like the perfect guy when he moved in 2 years ago. Clean cut, friendly, always held doors open and helped elderly residents with groceries. He worked from home doing something with computers, kept quiet hours, never had loud parties. Everyone in our apartment building loved him. I started noticing small things that felt off. Kevin knew everyone's schedules perfectly. He'd always appear in the lobby exactly when certain residents came home, like he'd been watching. He remembered details about conversations I'd forgotten having, things I'd mentioned weeks earlier. But that was just the beginning of realizing how wrong I was about Kevin. One night, I came home late from work and heard typing coming from his apartment above mine. Not unusual, except it was 3 a.m. and the typing was incredibly fast and constant, like someone frantically entering data for hours straight. The typing happened every night at the same time. I started paying attention to the pattern. It would begin exactly when our building's hallway lights went off automatically at midnight and continue until sunrise. I became curious about what required such intense nightly computer work. Kevin had mentioned he did data analysis, but this seemed excessive even for that field. One evening, I was coming back from dinner when I saw Kevin in the building's basement laundry room. He wasn't doing laundry. He was installing something small and black behind the washing machines. When he saw me, he quickly shoved whatever it was into his pocket and acted like he'd been checking for lint. What I discovered next made me realize Kevin wasn't just creepy. He was dangerous. I started finding tiny cameras hidden throughout our building, behind the mailboxes, in the stairwell corners, even inside the fake plant in the lobby, all positioned to capture residents coming and going, accessing their mail, having conversations. I checked my apartment thoroughly and found 3 cameras, one in my living room, hidden inside a smoke detector that Kevin had helpfully installed for free when he first moved in, one in my bedroom behind a picture frame, one in my bathroom concealed in an air freshener he'd given me as a housewarming gift. Kevin had been watching all of us for 2 years, recording our daily routines, our personal conversations, our most private moments. The nightly typing wasn't work. It was him cataloging everything he'd observed and recorded about each resident. I found his data analysis folders on a shared building network he'd set up, detailed files on every resident including work schedules, relationship statuses, family information, personal habits, even our passwords that he'd captured by watching us type. But the most disturbing folder was labeled Selection Criteria. Inside were ranking systems for female residents based on factors like isolation level, family contact frequency, and likelihood to be missed. I was ranked number 3. I called the police immediately. When they searched Kevin's apartment, they found terabytes of recorded footage, detailed stalking notes, and plans for what appeared to be kidnapping scenarios for several women in our building. Kevin was arrested on multiple charges including stalking, invasion of privacy, and conspiracy to commit kidnapping. Turns out he'd done this at 3 previous apartment buildings before ours. The man everyone thought was the perfect neighbor had been systematically studying us like lab rats, preparing for something none of us saw coming. Sometimes the creepiest people are the ones who work hardest to appear normal.